with Winkle, and today we're making a spinner box. Grant, the spinner box today is something called automation, which is like kind of like gears and things that are working together to make something rotate around.
So that's basically what they use in a windmill?
Yeah, in windmills they do have gears that are working together to make the wind is making the big propeller go around, and then inside there's gears that are turning. So that's like what we're making today. We have the spinner that's going to be on top, the little figure that's going to spin around, and all the gears are going to be working inside. Shall we see what's in our kit?
Yeah, we have an ice skater and a hockey player, some glue, 2 cardboard circles, 2 wooden skewers, a ruler, a straw, and some details.
Very nice. On top of everything in your kit, you'll also need a pair of scissors and a pointy pencil. And if you want, you can also use crayons, colored pencil, or markers to color your figure. And on top of that, you will need your box today.
Yep, so don't throw it away.
If you did throw it away, or you can't find it, or you need an extra box, you can always use like a shoe box or something like that for this project as well. Once you have all that, let's get started.
Yeah.
Grant, this project today could be considered a kinetic sculpture. A kinetic sculpture is art that relies upon motion to create an effect. The motion can be powered by machines, by the wind, like windmills that you were talking about, or by you, and today it's going to be powered by you. This project uses mechanics to give motion to a static object, the static object being your figure. I went to a really neat arcade in San Francisco. It was kind of like a museum because it had really old-fashioned toys that used a lot of the automation like what we're talking about right now.
I remember the pictures of it. It was really cool.
Yeah, many modern toys now use electric motors and plastic gears to get that kind of motion, but these toys were built back in the early 1900s, and these mechanical principles that they're using go back thousands of years. So today we're going to make something similar to what I saw in San Francisco.
Sweet.
A simple version. The first thing you need to do, if you want to do it, is color your ice skater or your hockey player.
I want to do the hockey player.
How did I know you were going to say that? I guess I'll do the ice skater. You want to color them the same color as much as possible because this is going to be rotating and you want it to look like it's flipping around. The more similar both figures are, the better it'll look as it's rotating around. Okay, we have our figure skater and our hockey player all colored. Now we're gonna cut them out.
Yeah.
When you're cutting these, you do not have to go exactly to the body. So see how I'm going a little bit away from the body, just kind of showing the figure but not being exact. You actually don't want these to be exact. You want them to have a little bit of that paper showing around it. Okay, so you're gonna take your skewer and that's gonna go up the supporting leg. So the leg that is supporting the figure skater or the leg that is supporting the weight of the hockey player right there. So you're going to put a line of glue for the skewer.
Do we put glue on both hockey players or both ice skaters?
No, just one. So I put my glue where the skewer is gonna go. You need about up to the waist on your hockey player or your figure skater. And then you're gonna glue around the edges so that these two can be glued together. Make a little sandwich with them. Sandwich that skewer in there. Good, press those edges together so they look nice and neat. Good, so once you've made your skewer, now we're going to decorate. So we have this bendy wire ribbon for the ice skater, and we have the pipe cleaner for the hockey player. And so the pipe cleaner, you're gonna make a little hockey stick, and you're gonna need to give the hockey stick a little trim because it's too big. And I'll show you right here how to do the tutu. Just gonna wrap it around the waist. It's wire ribbon, so you can really scrunch it in at the waist part.
I didn't need to trim mine because I'm just wrapping it around it.
Okay, good. And then just put that hockey stick right in the middle of his hands while it's drying and squeeze his hands down, and that way it'll be nice and secure into place. The tutu on the ice skater, you do not need to glue because it has that wire ribbon and it stays nice and still. Next up, we're going to poke holes in our boxes.
Yeah.
Okay, you're first going to take your box and your ruler. We're gonna measure 5 inches down with your ruler. Okay, so 5 inches right there. Good. Now see how our box is 3 inches across? If you're using a shoe box or another size box, you need to find the middle. Ours is 3 inches, so the middle is 1.5 inches. So we're gonna move that dot to 1.5 inches. We're gonna stay right on that same line that we came down with. So now we know that we're at 5 inches this way and we're in the middle this way. So 1.5 inches is the middle. So I just measured 5 inches down from this side. So we're gonna go over to this side and measure 5 inches down as well. We have 5 inches down, which is right, but across, we have 3 inches across. We want that dot to be at 1.5 inches. Okay, now you're gonna take your sharp pencil and you're gonna poke it all the way through where that dot is. And then go to the other side and do it again.
Do we need to poke all the way through?
Yep, poke all the way through. Now we're gonna poke a hole in the top of our box, and this doesn't have to be exact. Try and get it in the middle, but it doesn't have to be exact. It's a little harder on this side because there's so many layers of cardboard, but keep trying. You can do it. Our next skewer is going to be going across these holes like this, but to support them from jiggling around too much, we're going to take some pieces of straw and glue them into the holes. You're gonna take your straw and measure about 1.5 inches. So here's where it starts. That's 1 inch, that's 2 inches, so half is that line that's right in the middle. That's where you're gonna cut
right here?
Yep, that's where you're gonna cut your straw. And then you're gonna do that 3 times, 1.5 inches every time.
Why 3 times?
Because we have 3 holes. Okay, now you're gonna take your glue and glue a line around your straw. See, I'm just kind of slowly twirling my straw as I'm squeezing the glue out. And then you're going to stick that straw into your box, into one of the holes. Place it there and we're gonna let it dry for a little bit. Go ahead and do the same thing with the other 2 holes. Take some glue on your straw and place it into the hole and let it dry. As your straws are drying, you can go ahead and stick your skewer in there, and that will make sure that your straws dry nice and horizontally. Take your extra skewer and we're going to poke through that hole in the middle of your cardboard circle. Be careful not to get your fingers on the other side. You want to move your fingers out of the way. But as I'm poking, I'm just kind of twisting it around. Okay, so you're gonna take one of those circles and your skewer and put the skewer through your straws. Try and get that circle in the middle of your skewer. All right, Grant, we're almost done. All that needs to be done now is we're going to put our skewer through the top straw, our skewer that has our figure on it. Put the skewer through the straw and then put your cardboard circle on it. Okay, so shimmy that cardboard circle down. You don't want your figure to be like resting on your straw too much because that'll create too much drag. So just imagine you're at one of those old carnivals or those old arcades and you're cranking the machine and getting this to rotate. See, this is so cool because we're rotating the stick horizontally, but the figure is spinning vertically. Now, a few things you might be frustrated with if this isn't working for you. So I'm gonna give you a few pointers to try. This cardboard circle right here needs to be resting on this cardboard circle right here. Sometimes they want to move and then this one pops out of place. So they have to be resting right on top of each other. One thing that I like to do is I like to put my hand on this side and make sure my skewer isn't gonna move while I'm turning it, and that way it doesn't fall off.
It's working.
Yeah. Keep working with this project. If you need to rewind the video to watch the instructions and do it again, you can. If you need to re-poke some holes, you can try that too. Grant was having a little bit of trouble with his hockey player rotating, and all I did was move this skewer in front of this skewer. So put this vertical skewer in front of the horizontal skewer, and that should work a little better. And just by playing around with the placement of your cardboard circles and trying your box out, then you'll be able to figure out how it works, why it works, and how to make it work better. Okay, Grant, should we show everybody?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
3.
Woo! Remember, it's nice to keep your hand on this side while you're spinning it keep your hand on both sides so that the cardboard circles can stay in place. That looks good!
I'm going faster than you.
Woo! She's getting so dizzy! Whoa. This was so fun making these automatic figure spinners today. Grant, thanks for joining me, and everybody, I would love to see what you made and how it turned out. If you have a grown-up, take a picture or a video and post it on social media. You can tag us at the Winkle Crate. That way we can see what you made and how it turned out. Thanks everybody, bye!
Bye.
Woohoo!